Hi everyone, this is the start of Unit 4, Matter Responds to Energy, and start of Week 15, which is the first week in your last unit. So we were looking at weather and how weather is, it's a little bit of it could be considered a force. So now we're going to look at properties of matter, a little bit more physical science. We're going to start this week with, like I said, properties of matter. So important things this week to learn the difference between chemical and physical properties, be able to give an example of either of those, understand density, and calculate density. So this week's a little different than most weeks in that there are 4 assignments due, and they're due Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So I would say, though, that they're all kind of small assignments, so you do need to get those done. The vocabulary for Unit 4, okay, it's going to work a little bit different than the Unit 3 vocabulary. So there's a log here I want you to open up, and then you need to copy this over to your science folder, or you can make a new Unit 4 folder. And every week, what you're going to do is add words to this. I helped you out for week 15, but in weeks 16, 17, and 18, you have to add words to this. You have to put in a definition, then you have to use the word in the sentence, and then you also have to include a picture. Now, I left 1, 2, 3, 4 blanks here for week 16. You must add at least 4 words in week 16. Can you add more? Absolutely. So you should all know how to edit a table, but in case you need to do that, I'll go over it real quick right here. Put your cursor here and go up to table, and you're going to do insert row above or row below. And then you can just put week 15 or week 16 there, depending on which week you're adding a word for. So on this example, you have to add a minimum of the words that I have numbered here for each week, but you may always have more, and now you know how to add those. And you will be turning that in week 18, and like I said, you should be doing it each week, and if you have questions, you need to be asking them now, not in week 18. That's going to tell me you haven't worked on it during weeks 15, 16, and 17. So just know that. Okay, so what have you got going this week? Let's see what the week looks like. So you're going to start out with some reading about physical properties and then chemical properties. We're going to talk about reactivity and flammability. Those are chemical properties. And then there's a little quiz on those. Then you're going to start talking, and that's due Tuesday. Then you're gonna do some reading on density, define it, and you have some beginnings of calculating it here. This lab, I've linked to a lab, and you have been given some data. So a class actually did this lab that was face-to-face, and you have their data. And I've highlighted in yellow here the things that you need to do. So you need to answer number 1 up here. 5 here, you need to calculate the density for each of these items. And that was how to do that was on the previous page, okay? And then you need to answer the analysis questions. So it's not really a lab you need to do, it's one you need to do the calculations and the analysis on. All right, and that is due Wednesday the 27th. After that, you're going to read some more on density, and then you have a discussion board. And there are, on this particular discussion board, on the previous page, you're going to watch one of these 5 videos, and then you have to explain the phenomena that is happening in that video on the discussion board on the next page for your peers who did not watch that particular video. All right, so that's the discussion board, and then finally you're going to end with a little quiz on density calculations again. Now, this folder Extra for Experts that's down here, if you have an A or B and you finish work on time or beforehand, you may complete the work in there. If you're struggling just to get through the work, then don't ask me if you can do the Extra for Experts, because you need to focus on the regular assignments this week. So it's not really considered extra credit. It is enrichment for those who are ready to move ahead before some of you are. So that's your week this week. Let me know if you have questions.